Hi, my name is Kevin Delamont, and I'm a recovering introvert. Now, when I say recovering introvert, I don't mean that you need to recover from being an introvert. I mean that you need to recover from the limiting belief that being an introvert is bad. Welcome to the 7 limiting beliefs that are holding you back. In this video, we will discuss the 7 limiting beliefs that are holding you back, and we will give you tools and tips to walk away with. In addition, you'll get a PDF that'll serve as a guide to help you through the process of overcoming these 7 limiting beliefs. Let's get started. Limiting belief number 1. Being an introvert means that there's something wrong with me. First, to conquer this belief, you need to conquer your mindset. Now, this is just a story, and the voice that's behind that story is not your voice. It's the voice of the inner critic. The inner critic pipes up whenever you are on to something great, like a new job promotion or a new relationship, or you want to speak up at work about a great idea you have. The inner critic's going to come in and be like, hey, wait a minute here, no, 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 no. But that is not your voice. And this limiting belief is not serving you. You need to make your own story that serves you. More along the lines of, say, I have great ideas. There is nothing wrong with me. Fuck the inner critic. Now, this takes practice, making up your own story that serves you. But believe me, you can do it. It just takes practice. Baby steps. I know you can do it. You'll get there. Limiting belief number 2. I have to be the loudest person in the room to be heard. Now, the truth is, loud people are heard, but that doesn't mean that they are respected. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room to be respected. You need to have purposeful communication. Purposeful communication is when your message resonates with your audience. So you need to tailor your message to your audience. Let me give you an example. I had a client once, and she had a big speech coming up. It was a big meeting. She was getting a job promotion, and it was her new team. And she started going over the speech with me, and it was mired in technical jargon, and it was just pretty boring. And I asked her, so do you know this group? And she goes, not yet. I said, do you want to get to know them? And she said, yes. And I said, well, why don't we start there? So we had worked up her speech, and she emailed me later after, and she said, oh, it went so well. I used stories, and I told a joke, and I was funny. And yes, there was some technical information in there, but a lot of it was just me introducing myself. And I already feel like I'm gelling with the team. See, the thing is that she tailored her message for her audience, and it resonated with her audience. And that's what we're going for. We're going for resonance, not dissonance. Limiting belief number 3. I can't be a leader because I'm an introvert. The truth is that some of the biggest CEOs of Fortune 500 companies and trailblazers in the tech industry are introverts. Bill Gates of Microsoft and Steve Wozniak of Apple are 2 prime examples. What you need to do is find your own brand of leadership and own it. Let me give you an example. In a previous life, I was a chef. And I was a line cook in one particular place for a while, and management kept coming up to me and saying, you gotta move up to sous chef. You gotta, you're gonna be a great manager. And I hemmed and hawed about it. And my wife, she nudged me. She's like, come on, you got to try it out. You got to give it a shot. So I did. And I looked around at the other managers, and their approaches were pretty aggressive and pretty dictator-like, which I wasn't too interested in. So I decided to come from my own brand of leadership, more of an introverted side, or of the championing side. I found that the cook's strengths, and I would boost them up and champion around that and move them forward to trying different things that related to their strengths. And management would come up to me and they would say, God, what are you doing? I mean, they're on fire when you're in the kitchen, and everybody's very productive and people are passionate and having a good time. And the only thing that I could say is that I just let them find their own brand of leadership. And then they owned it. You can look in the PDF, and there's a few books in there, a few book recommendations for you to read that can help you find your own brand of leadership. Limiting belief number 4. I have to be an extrovert to be successful. The truth is, success comes from clarity, focus, and consistency. The people that are clear on what they want and focused on their actions and consistent are the ones that achieve success. Introversion is not an excuse for lack of success. So here's what you do. First, ask yourself these 2 questions. What do I want? And what is my plan to get there? Then write out 2 action steps that you can take right now to move you closer to that goal. I know you're probably thinking, duh, but the key element here that's probably missing is consistency. And it's what is making you be further and further away from success. Grab a hold of it. It's yours. Limiting belief number 5. I have to work twice as hard to get my message out there. Now, being an introvert, it might seem that you have to work harder, but you don't. You just have to work smarter. Now, first you need to get your message clear, and then you need to build confidence to be able to bring it out into the world. Now, there's a few ways you can do this, but I can give you a couple examples. One, you can practice your message in front of the mirror, like a speech. You can do it in front of a camera, and then afterwards, you can watch the videotape back and critique yourself. Now, once you've built your confidence in doing these kinds of practices, then ask a family member or friend, if you can present it in front of them. The more you practice these small acts of courage around your message, the easier it's going to get to bring it out there. I know this stuff is hard. Being an introvert makes it so much harder to do this kind of stuff, but I know you can do it, and I cannot wait to see what you have to offer. Limiting belief number 6. I am an introvert, therefore courage is not in my DNA. Courage is in all of our DNA. We were born with courage to survive. As children, we did all kinds of courageous things before we knew how potentially dangerous they were. Over time, courage was stripped from us and replaced with fear of failure and rejection. It's time for us to go back and realize that we have that courage in us and bring it forward. Now, there are some few steps that you can do to start bringing courage into your life, little by little. You can first start by weekly planning and adding acts of courage into your weekly plan. Now, I know this might sound ridiculous, but it works. For example, maybe you have a meeting coming up that week. Write down in your plan that you're going to speak up about an idea you have in the meeting. Little acts of courage, step by step, will build your confidence and make you get closer and closer to finding your most powerful self. You need to exercise your courage. You will get there. These steps will help. Limiting belief number 7. I'm an introvert and I shouldn't have to change. This is true. You shouldn't have to change. There's nothing wrong with being an introvert. But you can and should expand your range a little. We are multifaceted people, and we have many levels to our personalities. And expanding your range is only going to get you closer to a more dynamic version of yourself, a more powerful version of yourself. Now, you can start by doing things that explore the more extroverted side of you. Like, say, start up a conversation with a stranger, or take an improv class. Now, if you're going to do these exercises, Being an introvert, you are going to need downtime after this because it can definitely drain us and you will need to recharge. I know. These exercises, and especially the last exercise that I just discussed, are probably making you say, no fucking way. But I want you to start exercising acts of courage and bringing those steps into your life, starting small and building to move closer to your most powerful self. It's in there. It's waiting for you. You just need to step forward out of the shadows and into the light. If you would like to continue on this journey with me, you can schedule a sample session. Go to my website, recoveringintrovert.com. I cannot wait to get started on this journey with you. So let's get started. Get in touch with me.